All right.
Shout out to SSiTV. Thank you for having me.
This is a shout out to SSiTV. Thank you so much for providing a platform for these conversations.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for another installment of SSiTV Africa. I'm here today with Michael Smith, one of the past contestant winners of Mr. Junior South Africa 2019. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you very much, Donna. It's a pleasure to be on the show. I hope you are well today, and I hope you guys have been keeping well with the corona. And thank you very much for introducing myself. If I can give a small summary of myself as well. I was a contestant in 2019 for the pageant SA, where I had the opportunity to obtain the title to become the winner of Mr. Junior South Africa 2019. And then ever since, I've always developed a passion for pageant SA. So every year with the new contestants, I don't compete, unfortunately, because I do work full-time now, and it's quite difficult to take off, but I do still follow the page and I still try and contribute wherever I can. So I think that's the most important part, because it has taught me a valuable lesson in the time I was a contestant for Pageant SA.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. And let's get the ball rolling then. So, what led you to take part in pageants, and how long were you participating in them for?
Okay, so I gave a small story to our local newspaper, and they also asked me the same question. So the only answer I could give is the truth, and that's basically I didn't start young. My mother had a friend who used to do modeling, and she used to coach modeling as well, and she asked me if I would try it out. And I tried it out, and I told her I don't like this. I don't feel manly when I do it. I don't think it suits me, and I don't think I'm going to continue with it. Unfortunately, around, let's say, 8 years later, now I'm still being a contestant for it and still having pride in doing it. But that's when it started. I tried out and I stopped. And then Sasha Lee Taylor, she also has her own modeling school. She's busy with Ace Models. And Sasha once asked me if I would try out for the university I used to go to, IIE MSA. And I told her, you know what, it's fine, I'll try it again. I gave it a shot and I didn't like it as well. But she said, please just keep trying. So I continued with it in 2017. I continued with it in 2017 or 2018. And then when we did the pageant as well for the university, I came second. I got second prince, so I think that's third. And then Sasha again phoned me and asked me, Michael, would you mind entering for pageant SA? Again, I told her, Sasha, you're asking me to take a big leap. And I told her, it's fine, I'll do it again. And well, afterwards I did reap from what I sowed because of Sasha as well. And then that's basically how it started. So on 2019, I became the winner for Pageant SA.
Okay, great. It's quite a journey you went on. And what do you think are some of the most important qualities and traits that a contestant should possess?
Well, from personal experience with Pageant SA, I think it is, firstly, it's having interpersonal skills and being humble and loyal. It's not something when you do a pageant, or for example, use the word wanting to be a model, it's not something you can put yourself on a pedestal and put yourself above other people. So I think loyalty and humbleness is one of the main characteristics which I think pageant SA title holder or even a contestant should hold. But also they should have energy. So they should be energetic. They should bring energy to the pageants, because you never know what can happen. If you do get selected, let's for example say to hold the title or to do a different pageant, you should bring energy to it, because it's something that not everyone is aware of, and it can be you can use it to have a big impact into your society, your environment, your industry, depending on where you're going. So those are mostly the three things I would say. But also they should be compassionate for people around them. They should show care, and they should just enjoy it. I think that's one of the most important things.
Okay, great. And how did it feel being crowned Mr. Junior SA in 2019?
Well, that was overwhelming. I didn't expect it. I never thought my face could turn that red, and I never thought that much adrenaline could go through my body. So it felt amazing. It felt different. It did feel like you achieved something, and it felt like you were recognized, and it just gave you a boost, gave you a mental boost, gave you a physical boost, and especially emotionally. So for me, I was excited, I was energetic. I couldn't sleep that night. I couldn't sleep the day before for the competition and everything. So yes, I was quite overwhelmed with what do you call it, energy and with excitement.
All right. And were there particular topics and issues that you wanted to address during your time as Mr. Junior South Africa?
Topics, issues, not really. I think topics which I won't address, but which I enjoyed, for example, was the fact that we had different categories. You can do modern wear, Western wear, formal, informal, swimwear. I enjoyed the fact of that because I felt that you can see it in a different angle, different view at different competitors or pageant, what do you call it? I forgot the word for a second there, I do apologize, but people who compete as well. So that's the nice thing. And any issues, not at all. I must be honest, for me at that time, it was quite difficult because doing a pageant, no matter where you're going, there's finances involved. And with the finances, it was quite tough for me back then. I didn't really work full-time, I worked part-time. So that was the only issue, if I may open up to that. And we would have wished if there was more companies or more people involved, like for example, like you guys now, where you can actually go and ask for financial assistance or just publicize the fact that some people are doing or participating, and just making sure that the people around you are also aware of what you're doing. And I think that would have helped a lot.
Okay, good to know. And what do you consider some of the most important things that you have learned while taking part in pageants?
Well, the one thing I most definitely learned is that you need to be a people's person. You're going to always work with people, you're going to be in front of people, and sometimes you don't even need to hold a title, but you're going to speak to people and you're going to be a role model for people. So from my side, don't be fake. Just be the real you, and people will still like it. People would indirectly they would think of you maybe as a role model. Some people do look up to you, and I think it's just the most important thing is that be yourself, enjoy yourself, just go out there, don't be nasty, don't change if you've obtained anything. It doesn't change you as a person, but always recognize the people around you.
All right, some good advice there. And do you think that more young men and men in general should take part in pageants?
Yes. I'm one of those people. A few years back, I would have said, no, men don't do this, only women. It's not meant for men. But yes, more men should. I think it's very difficult, especially if you in school, high school, primary school, you do get picked on, especially if you're not someone who plays sports, if you're not big into gymming. I found that difficult. But I do think it's a very nice thing. I do feel like it can build confidence in people. I feel like it can help you with a lot of things. It helped me surely in the jobs I had done before this one. It has proved, or not approved, sorry for that word, but it has improved my interpersonal skills, my confidence, my vision, and especially I've developed a mission as well now. So I think yes, all men should do it, because I feel there's a lot of men who think, what if my friends or what if my family? Just do it. Just go for it. Go like I went. It might change out for the better for you. You will never know.
All right, great. And what do you think are some of the biggest obstacles facing young people in terms of entering pageants?
Well, Firstly is we don't look for it. It's not something like a sport. It's not something where you see thousands of people sitting around the stadium and wanting to see you. So I think we are a bit scared, and I think it's not as broadly publicized, if that's right. I can't remember, but if that's one of the things. But if you think about it, a lot of modeling companies, agencies actually do broaden their view, and they do encourage people to partake, and they do encourage people to realize, or they do inform people that there are things like this. So the biggest challenge for me, I think it's because it's small and you don't have a lot of support from people around you, really, because it's not a sport. Well, I see it as not a sport, but I see it as something where you can do personal growth. It's something where you can develop yourself. So my main issue is just we don't really look for it. That's the only thing I can answer, is that we don't look for pageants, we don't look for models. We see them on the billboards and we're like, oh wow, nice jacket, but you don't physically look for the person, and that's why most of us are maybe scared to partake.
All right, good to know. And what advice would you give to new contestants looking to take part in a pageant for the first time?
I would say to start with a lot of things. Actually, I would say put yourself out there. Don't be shy like myself to find financial assistance. Don't be afraid to publicize yourself. Don't be afraid to add a video. Don't be afraid to add a photo shoot. Just be out there. Don't pull yourself in, be outwards throughout the world, and partake in community services, in charities. Just be there. You don't always need to contribute, but just be there. And you don't suddenly need to do it just because you're doing a pageant essay competition or anything. Just do it in general, because ever since I did start with my pageant, I'm still busy with our community services and charity works. It's something that's in me now because it opened my eyes to realize that there's a lot of things happening around me which the people that it's happening to can't control, and us as an outsider can actually help. So that's one thing. Partake, make sure that people know who you are. If you do get criticism, which is normal, you'll always get, take it with a bit of salt, work through it, and just enjoy your time and just go for it.
Okay, great. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for you. Can you give us a quick shout out for our audience?
I just want to give a shout out to SSiTV Africa. I want to thank them for bringing me closer and giving me the opportunity to speak to them. All the love and care for them, and I really appreciate the work they're doing. Thank you very much for helping us out with Pageant SA and bringing up their word, or the name of the company and the name of the pageant. We do appreciate it. So all the love and care for them. Thank you very much.
Right, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Donna. I appreciate your time.